Very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Ha! There we are. We're just being joined. Hello, my hearties. Lovely to have you all with us. Saturday night phone in, the internet phone in. 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all nations, of course. So lovely to have you with us. Dinky Doo from Scottie McClue. Excellent that you can join us, and let's hope our connection holds up tonight. Fantastic. There's Alan Mack joining us. Lovely to have you with us, Alan, and a big Dinky Doo to you, I say. Tremendous stuff. Welcome, welcome. Dinky Doo, I hope you've had a good week. What a tumultuous week it's been for the United Kingdom and for British politics, and in fact, for world politics, of course. So there you are. So Boris has sort of resigned, but he hasn't gone yet. Should he have gone straight away? This is what we need to know. There's Alan. Good evening, Scottie. Are you not roasting tonight with the bonnet on? It is a warm night, Alan. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But we like to keep the bonnet on. We tried it last week just to please you, and everybody said, "Where's the bonnet? Where's the bonnet?" So there we are. Dinky Doo, Scottie, Peter Dale Nevins. How lovely to have you with us. There's somebody who's been a long-time listener and interactor with Scottie McClue, and a very fine man. Chris has joined us. Chris Fimister, lovely. Johnson Sound Community Radio, fantastic. So there we go. Now we may have a bit of a dodgy connection tonight. The bonnet must go. Alan, the bonnet cannot go. The people would never let it go. You need to tell me why you want the bonnet to go after 30 years. So there we are. Lovely evening, Scottie. Dinky Doo, Lily Patterson. What a privilege to have you with us. Lovely to have you here. Hi, Scottie. How are you? Hello, Susan. Glad you could join us as well. Everybody's coming and joining us tonight. We love that. As soon as you join us on the TikTok, get following, of course. There we are. Good to see you on this lovely evening. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. But we'll just do a nice quick hour, and then that'll let you get back out into walking. There's Krish, who says, Dinky Doo, Krish. Lovely that you could join us. Fantastic. Follow us as soon as you come on. I love you, Scottie. Krish, you're very, very kind. What a lovely thing to say. Now, I love all of you guys. I'm just amazed, absolutely overwhelmed, bowled over by the quality of this program. Every week it just gets better and better and bigger. But we need to keep working at that, sending it round, sharing, talking to people. Keep the bonnet, Scottie. Absolutely, LinkedIn user. We need to keep the bonnet. You know, I don't know what Alan's problem is, but he's desperate for Scottie McClue to lose his bonnet. You know what I mean? It's so very, very strange. Scottie, what are your philosophy in life? What are your philosophy in life? What is my philosophy in life? Look after others, they'll look after you. Avoid like the plague. I've only met one bad man in my whole life, and that was somebody who was a narcissist and a sociopath. Who's calling? Let's see, Dinky Doo. Hello? Oh, we seem to have missed you there. Anyway, give us a call. Lovely to have you with us, and I shall take your call. A warm welcome, Dinky Doo, to the old TikTok. Fantastic stuff. In fact, what we might do, guys, is just start the TikTok again here, because I'm not sure what's going on, if we've got a problem with it. So what I'll do is we'll just start that one up again, and then you can come and join us. Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Andy Frybrook, Scottie.
Hello, Andy Frey Ibrooks. How are we tonight?
Oh, good, Scottie. The thing about the bonnet is, I've got a wee family story about that.
Uh-huh.
See, when my granddad died, we kept his bonnet, even though that my granny wanted to get put in the grave.
Uh-huh.
So we kept that, and we passed it about. See, what my dad was going to die about 4 years ago, we gave him the bonnet before he died. Then my mother.
Wow. So the bonnet is very powerful, because you see, it's the mark of the man.
Aye, so I've actually got the bonnet in my drawer in the room.
Andy, that's amazing. That is a story indeed. I love it. The Scottish bonnet, the Glasgow bonnet.
That's it, the Glasgow bonnet.
And that bonnet will have seen a bit of action, I can tell you.
My dad used to come up the road singing, was his son, my wee Kilmarnock bonnet?
With my big Kilmarnock bonnet as I run to catch the train.
Every Friday night.
That's right, my big Kilmarnock bonnet as I run to catch the train.
Aye, so people are scared to come up and see it in my house now because they know it's like you touch it, your bed.
Absolutely. Well, we'll not be doing that. You take great care, Andy. Lovely to hear you.
Thank you,
I think you do, big man. Fantastic. So that's our Andy. Free Ibrox. Always get some good quality chat. Think you do. If you've just joined us, a very good evening. You're watching Scottie McClue. This is the internet phone-in, an hour of superb, scintillating information, education and entertainment for not just one nation, but for several nations. Fantastic stuff. If you're watching on the TikTok, we're going to see if we can start that again. You have the most famous bonnet in broadcasting. We do, Tony. Scottie McClue's bonnet. Who's this imposter? Where's McClue? Professor Numptyhead. How dare you? Did you shave, says Wendan. Did I? Oh, gosh, I must have done. Nothing gets past you. I'll tell you, can you say my name, Scottie? Creesh. Of course I can. And dinky do to you. Fantastic stuff. That is what it's all about, I say to you. Now, I'm just checking out the old TikTok here, seeing what's going on. How's it going, Scottie lad? What's the craziest woman you've ever met? Tell us a story and give us laughs. Well, Wally, I've met a few crazy women in my time, and one or two sane ones as well, I can tell you that. But we'll perhaps not go into that. Because it might be, I would never be so base as to do that. So there we have it. Fantastic stuff. Now then, what I need to know is how's the old signal here? That's what we're after. Fantastic stuff. A little bit dodgy earlier tonight, I suspect. The lines are open if you'd like to phone. It's 0141 628 9795. 0141 628 9795. So never a dull moment there. Just wondered what gets put under the bonnet. Tony, if I could even start the secrets that are under that bonnet, I can tell you. Dinky do, I say to you. There we go. Fantastic. Now, getting a lot of good feedback here, guys. And we're also going to, at some point, bring the TikTokers back in. I don't know what had happened tonight. It was all a little bit strange. But we have had signal problems, as you know, but we got them fixed at McClue Towers. But I'm not actually at McClue Towers tonight. So there we go. You're live on Scottie's Phone In. Who's that?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Who's that?
Hey, Scottie.
Who is it?
John.
John? I don't know if I know any John. So there we are. Dinky do. We don't know John. So that's it. He's gone. Now then, what do we got here? Fantastic stuff. Scottie, you need to invite a monarchy expert on to school you on the monarchy delusion. Jerry, I am a monarchy expert. 50 years of proper research. 2 degrees, an IQ of 164. Who's going to beat that? My goodness me, what a strange thing to say. What did you want to ask, Jerry? And we'll answer your question and your query right here and now. Not a problem, a monarchy expert. Have you ever heard such a thing? Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Thank you, dear Scott. It's Kareem.
Kareem, good evening. How are we tonight?
I'm well, thank you. Yourself?
Yes, excellent. How's the signal looking, Kareem?
Oh, I'm in my friend's house in a flat with the concrete walls, and I can hear you perfectly well.
Right, you can hear us. That is excellent. That's wonderful stuff. Here's a guy saying to us, I think Boris Johnson would be a great stand-up act. Now he's looking for a new job.
Scottie, I still think it'll be a while before he goes, because he'll be setting himself, before he goes, all putting things into place.
Absolutely.
But one thing I wanted to phone to speak about tonight, which was announced earlier on, about one of the, I won't name his name, but he's he saves you money, basically. I think you know what I'm talking about. And he has a website and all that.
Yes.
And he was sickened. I read the article, and I'm absolutely sickened. And I would encourage people that are listening to the show tonight, Scottie, although it's summertime just now and we've had an absolute beautiful day today, when the winter comes this October, it's now been made official, your gas and electricity, your unit rate and your charge and everything is now going to go up a further 64% from what you're paying.
Well, I think they're going to have to start justifying this, and I think that we as customers would be within our rights to completely clothe ourselves from head to foot in thick woolens and to put everything off.
Well, I'm shocked, Scottie, because I thought it was 50%, but it's been made official 64%. So you think your standing daily charge, I'd say probably it'll be near enough £2 now a day just to have your electricity and your gas on. And that's not including what you're going to actually be using per kilowatt.
Well, I don't know what they're wanting, if they want everybody to disconnect themselves from the services and just leave them to it. Do you know what I mean?
January is predicted now as well, definitely. It's going to go up an extra 4%.
Yeah, well, if the government need to step in and put a stop to it, and if they're not powerful enough to do so, then I think the people have to decide, well, can we do without these people's services?
Correct. Well, Scottie, it just makes you think, although we're getting that money, that £400, and that's to be divided, say, that's £66 a month throughout the winter months, that's still going to be absolutely nothing compared to this massive hike. So you're telling me now that since last April, that it's went up 110%, around about 110% and more.
Well, we need to know why, Kareem. It's not good enough to say we're importing gas from the Ukraine. This country could make its own gas. We can go back to coal. We can go back to peat. We can go back to wind and wave power. We can go back to our own oil coming in from the North Sea.
Well, it's to go up a further 4% in January as well. So I really don't think, what I was saying there, if Europe, now someone in social media was talking about, the government are trying their best, they are giving you that payout. I think, no, that's not good enough. And if Europe can cap it at 4-5% maximum.
Absolutely.
Maximum,
we need to get back into Europe. If that's what's happening, we need to get back into Europe. We need a new Prime Minister that can take us back into the single market.
Well, Scottie, I think us Scots, we always like to learn things the hard way. And when people tell people stuff, they don't listen until they experience it themselves. And sadly to say, and I'm not going to spend the conversation on it, you know that I am absolutely passionate and dying for independence.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people are going to have to really feel this massive pinch this winter and question themselves. Listen, yes, it's for a better future. Yes, it's for stuff that we are going to be more control of instead of the bureaucracy.
Absolutely, Kareem, 100% behind you there, beside you, in fact. I think what we're also needing is to find out who these half-witted are that talk about wee nippy and Jeanette Cranky and all this kind of stuff. You know, Jeanette Mac Cranky, I think it is they call it. Apologies to Jeanette Cranky. You know, and I think that they need to seriously look at this kind of nonsense and think, what is wrong with you people? You know, have a look at what's coming out of Westminster and having a look at what Scotland's doing with its financial hands tied behind its back.
I think for some of these people, they're just too used to the SNP mitigating everything. Yeah. And that can only happen for a certain amount of time. They've only got a certain amount of money. It cannot keep, you know, you've got the bedroom tax, which the SNP pays so people don't up here. You've got the lowest council tax although it's still high, I think, in my
Yes.
opinion, it's still the lowest within the whole of the UK. There's just so much that they mitigate, but people don't appreciate it. And God
The subscriptions, the dentists,
well, the healthcare, the dentist,
the NHS.
prescriptions, you don't pay. But down south, you need to, the doctor writes a prescription, there's a tenner for him writing it, then you need to pay for the medication in the chemist. There's so many people here take things for granted, and they're not going to learn until they have to really start paying it out their own pockets.
So you think we're going to have to teach the people a lesson to get them to realise that Scotland needs to be independent again?
Absolutely. I think they're really going to have to feel the pinch this winter to sit down and to think, well, hang on here, can we have a better future? Because we can't, the way petrol's going up, and as you know, and you said last day, Scottie, half of it is going to Westminster and tax.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's huge. I mean, the government could knock that down by 50%. You know, and I think should do at the moment to help people out, because the government have to decide if they're there to represent the people or if that was a con and they're just representing themselves.
I think, Scottie, a lot of them have hidden interests or a lot of conflict of interest. I think that's the word to use, where they're looking after themselves. And it's quite scary to think that even though all what's happening just now, that the Tories will still probably win a general election.
I don't know, Kareem. I don't honestly know. I'll tell you, Jeremy Corbyn, regardless of what anybody's politics are, was very, very, very close to winning. That was why the press barons annihilated him. Yeah, because they didn't want. So you see, these governments have been driven by big business all the time.
Scottie, see that a lot of the ones within that media, those outlets, they are Tory donors and they support the Tory party. So
of course, that's the game. That's why we came out of Europe, Kareem, because the Leave campaign was so heavily funded.
Yeah. Well, you think back to the 80s and 90s, and there's a certain newspaper, Big Ball in the Sky, there's your hint, has always used to be Labour, but now it's pro-Conservative. Now, come on, look at the type of clientele that newspaper attracts, and they support the Tories. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't see Labour doing any different just now, and I think Keir Starmer's put the nail in the coffin in terms of Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make Brexit.
Well, you see, I think the Labour Party would have been back into power if they'd gone against Brexit.
Correct.
You know, and they've said, no, we're not having this. We want to stay in Europe. Also, the Labour Party in Scotland would be in power if they'd gone for independence.
I think Labour would do so much better in Scotland, you're correct, Scottie, if they took a pro-independence approach. Now, they don't need to be, they could sit in the fence. If they want to be smart to keep their masters happy down south, sit in the fence. Look, if people want this, let them have it. We're not for it, but we're not against it. It's entirely up to the people. There you go. The Tories will obviously fight against it, so there's that. But if Labour sat on the fence, and if it's a yes vote, then they can build and progress. But I'll tell you one thing, I do not trust them up here at all, Scottie.
No, listen, but I'll tell you, you've just summed it up. You know what you've actually said there, and I don't think it was the main thrust of your argument. What you've said is to please their masters down south. Let's examine that statement, Kareem. To please their masters down south. They shouldn't be pleasing anybody but the people of Scotland. They shouldn't have any masters, and they certainly shouldn't be run from down south.
Correct. I think it would be interesting to see, and I probably know the answer to this, that although we have the SNP up here, and you know the job that they do with the Parliament, etc.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's done in Wales with their Labour First Minister. If he's meant to be old style Labour, but there'll be a certain amount of stuff that he'll still be bowing down, shall we say, to the Westminster rule or to the head of the Labour Party. And to me, a First Minister of a country is more important than the Labour leader or a Tory leader, in my opinion.
I think you're absolutely 100% correct. We do have Her Majesty the Queen. Did you see the cheek that I've received from that post this week?
I haven't, Scotty. Can you tell me a bit about it, please?
Oh my goodness. Well, I won't tell you which post it was, but I mean, I think there's been about 240 people have responded to me, which is quite good for a social media post. And they're all saying, well, we'll not be singing God Save the Queen. They're not getting the message, Kareem, that if they don't monarchize themselves up, then, they're going to lose the independence vote.
Recently, it came out, as was said, but again, it's been made abundantly clear by the SNP that if Scotland becomes independent, the monarchy is going nowhere. Now, I know the Greens are opposite and they want a republic, and that's fine, that's a democracy.
Yes.
But at the end of the day...
Yeah, but you have to forget saying that, Kareem, because it's just going to lose the vote.
I agree, Scotty. You know? I genuinely believe the monarchy should be going nowhere.
Yeah.
I was speaking to my neighbour about that, actually, and she's in her early 80s. Yeah. And she was saying that when the Queen passes on, that she's not looking forward to Prince Charles taking over, and she would like to see William and Kate. She thinks they'd be absolutely fantastic. And I get that, I can understand, and that's her opinion. My personal opinion, and I might be wrong in this, Scotty, I don't see Charles taking on that role for long. I think he would do it for about 5 years. And then I genuinely believe I could see him passing it on.
Well, Charles is right now in his 74th year. Right now as we speak. So if he did it for 6 years, he'd be 80.
Yes.
You know?
Now... I can see him the type wanting to enjoy, the retirement and, going to the odd show and showing support. I think he'll want to get in to make whatever changes he wants to make. And I do think he's wanting to streamline a lot of things, which will be good as well, and make a lot of changes. But I don't think he'll be in there for too long.
And I think William and his father get on very well. I get that impression.
Say that again, Scott?
I think that William and his father get on very well. I get that impression.
I think that there's a good understanding, and I do believe as well, if you're wanting to get a lot more of the younger generation on board with the monarchy, then I do think William and Kate are, that they've got that.
Oh, they're absolutely ideal, but they're doing a wonderful job anyway.
Correct, yes.
That's it. I mean, they're right there at the forefront of the royal family. And another thing that irritates me in these discussions and debates, the half-witted idiot that always goes out to sort of people who are not in the line of succession or are very far down the food chain when it comes to the line of succession, and they start making comments about them. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to do with it. They're losing the focus of the crown. They're getting hung up with the people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I said to you before, when I was involved in boards in business, I can remember a terrific chairman telling me, that if you don't respect the incumbent ever, he wasn't talking about anybody in particular, you must respect the office. And it's the same. I mean, regardless of who's on the throne, they are the monarch. Now, the Queen happens to command huge respect. You're always going to get your half-witted idiots who've had their heads stuffed with nonsense since birth, and they're going to be harder to explain how the thing works.
Well, Scotty, that was me. I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, but you've never been a half-witted idiot, Kareem. I'm sorry to disappoint you there.
Say that again,
I'm saying you've never been a half-witted idiot, so I'm sorry to disappoint you there.
Well, it was the upbringing where you were right. You were raised against the monarchy, but
Yes.
for me, step back and look what it brings in.
Yeah.
Step back and see. Look, I think I did send that. I do think with the raise, the cost of living, it's not 56 pence. I think it's like £1.30 now. But a year out your tax goes to the royal family now. Now, see, at the end of the day, I still think that's less than a bar of chocolate. It's less than a drink of juice out of one of the shops. It's nothing at all. And at the end of the day, what they bring in to the local economies for the houses of the residents, and I've said this to you many times before, Scottie, and I've been shot down in social media, with the houses of residence and the potential for tourism, with lots of areas, the regeneration of ruins and castles. Scotland has so much potential, and with a strong monarchy behind it, it really...
And these people that are shooting you down on social media, remember, they genuinely don't understand. I had one today going on about Nazis. Now, the second, Kareem, somebody introduces the word Nazis, they've lost their argument. It's an actual well-known syndrome in discussion circles. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a well-known syndrome. And if you introduce it, when you're losing an argument, you introduce the word Nazi. And once you've done that, you've lost your argument.
I think that as well, because when you're reading on social media, you get these numpties saying the Nazis, which is the SNP.
Yes.
And you think, this is just, where are they getting this nonsense from?
Just making it up. It's absolute nonsense. They're just making it up.
Yeah, absolutely, Scottie.
Yeah.
Well, my rant is over tonight.
No, that was excellent. It wasn't even a rant. It was just high quality, well thought out chat, as always.
Thank you, Scottie. And listen, I'll say thank you, and if you're on a live pop-up, I'll see you during the week.
We'd love that. Thanks, Kareem. Have a good evening, and dinky-doo.
Thank you, Scottie. See you later.
See you later, La. What a top man. So there you are. Now, lots of feedback from you guys. So let's get into this and see what is what. Now, I think, Boris, oh yes, we've done all that one. Hi, Scottie. Thank you very much. Scottie, you and Bojo would be good buddies. You're in danger to the climate with all that hot air you spout. Jerry, you're just needing to learn about things. Who's this? Hello, you're live? Are you live with Scottie's phone in? Who's that? Hello?
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 Scottie, I'm a tenement reader from the 70s, and this cost of living thing doesn't frighten me at all.
You're a what? You're a tenement man from the 70s?
Yeah, I remember quotes on your bed, and your windows iced up and you couldn't open them.
That's right. They'd been painted in to seal them up.
That's right, and 200 army blankets on top of you night.
That's right. Now, I think this is what we might need to get back to, because the one thing we should never be doing is being held to ransom.
Yeah, but I can remember when I was 18, it was that cold, I had to stood beside my mother and father.
Oh my goodness me, yeah, I think that's just a step too far. We'll try and avoid that. What a top man. Right, there we are. Great chat. All the best in here. There's Alan says, Scottie, I know this is something that won't happen, but theoretically, if everyone stopped paying and cancelled direct debits, what would happen? Well, the power companies would go out of business. They wouldn't be able to cope with that, and they're in danger of encouraging that kind of thinking. I suspect the big bosses of the energy companies are donors to the Conservative Party, and they won't want to upset them. But Tony, if you think about it, when it's something like essential facilities, like oil and gas and power and what have you, I think perhaps we should be nationalising that and take them back into our ownership, to public ownership, because if they're paying out good money, we could all make a few quid off each other. There we are. Now, what else have we got? Willie Douglas. How very interesting. Now, going to phone my gas electric supplier that told me the tariff was fixed. Well, Chris, It should be fixed, that's the thing. I want a British Prime Minister, says Streaky, and next someone who can represent the people, not someone who only thinks of a billionaire lifestyle. You need somebody like my late father would have been wonderful, as he used to say, you can only wear one suit. Scottie's overstayed his welcome. Who's overstayed his welcome? End the call. Oh, Kareem. No, Kareem's outstanding, Krish. There we are. Scottie, love you. No problem at all. You're so philosophical. More power, more corruption. There we are. Dry your eyes. You dry your eyes, Wally. Labour down south took advantage of us Scots so far, Jason. I think you're 100% correct. Krish has sent me £1. Krish, thank you so much. A GBP through tapping the dollar bill at the bottom of the super chat. Thank you, Krish. Respect me. He says, well, we do respect you, Krish. We are big respecters of you. There we are. Good morning, Scottie. Dinky-doo from Australia. I heard in the news the Prime Ministers of England have lost half of his bench. You are correct. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scott. Chris.
Chris, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good. You're laughing your head off. Tell us what's funny. We don't know.
Yeah, do you know what eye ladies are?
You've done what?
Do you know what eye ladies are?
What eye patches are?
No, do you know what eye ladies are?
Eye?
Ladies.
Eye ladies.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
Well, we know what ladies are. I don't know what the other one means, actually. So there we go. Listen to these monarchy bootlickers. No, Jason, you're 100% wrong. There's zero bootlicking, zero bowing, zero scraping. None of that stuff goes on at all. All right? Real stuff that you're talking about here, Jason. So there we are. Now, what do we got here? You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Hello? We can't hear you. We didn't get you there. So you're telling me, Scottie, we need to respect, and he's talking about Jason. You need to get your mind round this. We respect the crown. The Queen is the custodian of the crown. The crown is our symbol of authority. So don't get hung up with people. Don't start believing what you've read in the papers, blah, 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 all that stuff, Jason. We respect the Queen. We sing God Save the Queen. That's our Scottish national anthem. She's the head of state for Scotland. Capiche? There we are. Scottie, if we have the monarchy, are we a colony? No, we're not a colony. How's the First Lord of the Internet, Frank? Thank you for asking. They could bring them down to the status of other European countries' monarchies. John Donnelly, why on earth would you want to reduce status of anyone? That's exactly why we have the monarchy. It puts us ahead of the game. Oh dear, oh dear. F document, Scottie, where's the beard? Is it windy where you are? Lol. Oh, lol. Answer you. Fantastic. Who have we got here? Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scott.
Hello. Who's that?
It's Gary.
Yeah, I think you're talking a little bit of nonsense. So there we have it. Fantastic stuff. Laughing his head off. Right, Kareem says, hello, everyone. Thank you, Kareem. Great call. Who was Mr. Martin, Scottie, says Streaky. Mr. Martin was obviously Mr. Martin, Streaky. There we go. That's not me, says Krish. Aha. There we are. Krish has he's an imposter. Right, we'll sort him out, Krish. But thank you for the £1. You gave me the £1, was that right? Now, has the Prime Minister resigned or is he still in power? Well, I don't know what his powers are. He's resigned, and I don't know if they'll put him on gardening leave and whatever. I would have thought once you've resigned, you're out. Your derriere is out laughing at. And that is that. That's what I would have thought. There's only one true king, and his name is Scottie McClue. Joseph Mackey, are you not amazing? There we are, Scottie. I'm being honest, absolutely, Krish. Why would I give you £1? I don't know, Krish. If I didn't like you, I don't know. There we are. Of course you wouldn't give me £1 if you didn't like me. Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, how you doing? Think you do? Wonderful stuff. Okay, says Frank. Absolutely, no problem at all, Frank. Dinky do, I say to you. Now, how would it? My goodness me, I can't believe we're up for 35 minutes. There we are. Who's this? Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello. Fantastic. Some silly wee boy. Right, there we are. What we might do is just sort him out in a wee minute. There we are. Right. That's that one. Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Some dafty. Right. Well, just what we'll do is we'll ban that number for good. There we are. That's that. Wonderful. What have we got there? Good. Right. That should be that. Blocked with a bit of luck. A lot of idiots on tonight, Scottie. Please educate them. Joseph, yes. The Scottie McClue phone-in is for highly intelligent individuals across the globe. So there shouldn't be any idiots phoning at all. So I think we've just banned the wee all that nonsense, wasting people's time. We're far too busy for all that. Wonderful. Now then, thank you very much to Krish for the £1, I say. We shall sort the idiots out. The subjects for discussion tonight: should the Prime Minister actually go from Downing Street with immediate effect? We want to know what you lot think, because you are paying for it, I say. So we want to know what's happening there, a dinky-do as well. Wonderful. Right, I'm just seeing what's happening here. That's that. Good. Now, we'll maybe pop up as well, pop the TikToks back, and see if we can get that going as well. We had a little problem earlier because we're not in McClue Towers tonight. Mr. Malton would sort the idiots out. He would indeed. Ban any withheld numbers, says Joseph. Absolutely, Joseph. That's what to do with them, I say. I can tell you. Now, there we go. We'll see if we can get the TikTokers back with us for a bit of chat. We struggled a little bit earlier, just, I think, because we had too much going on the one connection, probably. But we got the connection sorted at McClue Towers, and that was rather good. So that's one of our subjects for discussion. Should the Prime Minister leave right away? Very, very important. And also, how do we educate people that if Scotland wants to be independent, they need to ensure that every single right-thinking Scot is 100% behind the monarch. So there needs to be no cheek. I know it's not on topic, says Joseph, but what do you think is going to be the eventual end game from the Russian invasion of Ukraine? I think the end game will be that they'll discuss with Mr. Putin, can you put a stop to it now? You've made your point, sort of thing. And I think that will be the end game. But we shall see, because what do I know? Well, rather a lot, apparently. Everybody's now saying, I'm listening to Scottie McClue to get the truth of what's going on there. So you're not that far off topic. It's an interesting one, Joseph. But I think that they can keep on feeding stuff into Ukraine. The NATO forces cannot take direct action against Russia because that would be a hostile action. And that would mean something far, far bigger, and we don't want that. So there you are. So I think Mr. Putin was making his point that NATO was starting to get a bit close to all the Russian territory, and it's a warning shot, but it's got a bit out of hand. Hi, Scottie, my dearest friend. How are you doing? Dinky do Clickstar. There's Gary. Now, Gareth, we cannot have that. Dinky do. What else have we got? Dinky do, thank you for joining us tonight. Great to see you, Scottie, Lord of the Internet. Colin, how lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky do. I can't believe we've been up for 40 minutes, guys. It passes in a flash. Some great calls, though. Kareem was outstanding tonight. Why is Boris being allowed to stay on so he can have his wedding ceremony in Chequers? I know, surely they could invite him to go to Chequers as a guest of the new Prime Minister. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello?
Hi, Scottie. You're right, son. It's David. How are you?
David, how are you, son? I wondered if there was anybody there, and here you are.
I'm fine. There's just some days that we sit and go, you're trying to go back on TikTok, and all of a sudden, and your faces went really, really foggy. But anyway, how are you tonight?
My faces went, where is my face gone?
What, son?
What are you watching on, David?
I'm watching on YouTube, but you were trying to go back on TikTok, and then straight away it went frozen. Now you're back to normal, and then your face went really foggy, and now you're back to normal. I can see you right behind you. Where are you?
We're all right. Yes, I'm in a secret location.
Right, okay, son. That's good. A wee secret location.
A wee secret location, absolutely. So, but we'll be back in McClue Towers.
Right, okay. Oh, so is it getting decorated, McClue Towers or something?
McClue Towers, they're doing it up. But I'm not getting a government grant.
Government grant, very good, very good.
Do you remember that? Do you remember a government grant? Somebody's getting a grant here.
That's good. A bit of fun. Right, Scottie, right. Kareem was on earlier on, right, as you know, speaking about all these things to do with the bills and the cost of living. But, right, so I was talking to you about electricity weeks ago, right?
Yes.
So, I was telling you my old company went bust last year.
Yes, remember not to mention any companies.
So you tell us, my old company went bust last year, right? So
right.
They made I was on £2,000. So I got a new company this year called EDF.
No, don't give us the companies, David. Don't say the names of the companies.
Okay.
We'll not mention any more about them. We'll go on to something else now.
So this new company said to me, well, this new company that I'm on just now says, but the old company still wants £2,000 off you, David.
Yeah, well, David, the fact that we've mentioned it now, we'll go off that discussion and we'll go on to something else, you see. So there we are. Scottie, who was your favourite all-time mad caller? Remember Lynchman? Who was your favourite band caller? We liked Lynchman. We liked The Viking. All that. We liked Susie too. We liked Mr. Martin. Are you on holiday, says Chris? No, I'm working. I'm working, Chris. Absolutely. Pandemonium today is known as the circuit. I don't know what that stands for, actually. You've lost me there. Fantastic. Phil from Red Rose. There we are. Absolutely. Oh, we loved Phil from Red Rose. I can still hear you. That's 30 years ago, guys, since we had Phil from Red Rose. Quite incredible. Now, hello. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Hello?
Scottie, I'll just like your opinion on who do you think should succeed Johnston?
Who should succeed? I think that they're going to. I think they're going to try and parachute Rishi into the post.
No, that's bad.
You know, I think what we need a Remainer back in there that could take us back into the EU.
It just got off $4 million worth of debt and fraud.
Yeah, so we're not wanting that. No, we need a Remainer to take us back into the EU. That would be the way ahead with that one. Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Scottie, David again. What happened?
We lost you, son. What I was saying to you, that now we've mentioned the company, we'll have to come off that story. This is why I'm always educating you, and you're pretty good. But we can't mention second names, can't mention companies. You see, because once you've done that, you've committed yourself to saying it, and then.
All right. So that was confused, man. Anyway, you're still stuck on the screen. You're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yes.
Oh my goodness me!
It's not moving at all.
So if I do that, am I not moving about?
You're not moving about at all. You were trying to get back to TikTokers, and you're totally frozen. There's nothing happening on my screen, YouTube.
Can you hear the chit chat though?
No, I can hear you speaking to me. That's all.
Right.
I can't hear any chat. There's no chat at all. You're totally stuck. Your face is stuck.
All right. Well, we'll need to sort that. We'll need to see if we can sort that, David. I don't know if I can sort it while we're actually moving. You know? Hang on a minute, David. Yeah. Don't go anywhere just till I see what's going on here.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that seems to be absolutely fine there. And let me just see what's happening. I'm moving about here, David. I've got YouTube up, and I seem to see what's happening. There we are. I'm moving about here, David. I've got YouTube up, and I seem to see what's happening. There we are. How's that? Hello? Are you there? Are you there, David? Hello. I seem to have lost you. I don't know what was going on there. Something up in the background. But anyway, that's that one. Dinky do. Who else have we got? They're saying that Boris needs to go. It might be your collar's end. So there we are. Can see you in Maryhill, says Robert. Dinky do, Robert. I'm glad we're booming out there in Maryhill. Fantastic stuff. Have you heard from Wolfgang lately? Do you know Mr. Martin? That was a cracker of a call for Red Rose. That's 30 years ago as well. Wolfgang. But he used to ring us for a bit of nonsense. It's coming through fine. It's David equipment that needs booted. Right up to heat. I've got you now. This can very often be the case, you see. I've lost my hearing. Oh no, we need to see what we can do for you. They can do amazing things nowadays. Awaken, I can tell you. Right, give us a call. Can you see us? Is anybody on the TikTok? Is TikTok working all right? Do let us know and come and give us your chat. Fantastic. If you've just joined us, a very, very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one, the internet phone in. 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment just for you. Dinky do. There we are. Now, Jenny says the facts are that Mr. Martin couldn't handle Mr. McClue. It's as simple as that. Anybody watching the first night at Red Rose? Anybody on here? As a teenager, I called you live on radio every Friday and made you laugh a good few times. Awake and questioning. How fantastic. That is Dinky do, I say to you. There we have it. Evening, Scottie. There's Jerry. Jerry, lovely to have you with us. Give us a call if you want, Jerry, because the lines are free and should be operating. A blast from the past. Awake and questioning, absolutely. There's Joe of Hoban says, hello, I'm back. So there we have it. Jake, I don't know what on earth you think you've joined, but I don't think you're mature enough for on here. You might be better getting yourself away. In fact, what we'll do, we shall loud and clear on TikTok, everybody says, we'll send Jake down the Swanee. Now, anything on tonight that people might be watching? Any football? Is the tennis all finished? Who will take over from Boris, and will they do any better with Tad? That's the big question. I won't be so baseless to say the $1 million question, but it actually is. Who's going to take over from Boris, and will they do better? Somebody was giving a list of all the things Boris had done, and to me it all sounded so bad for the country. They said, well, he got Brexit done. Well, that was a bad one, wasn't it? Absolutely. Do you think that's the reason Boris has actually gone? Not the Partygate, not all that stuff, but the fact that he got Brexit done. If he hadn't taken us out the EU, do you think he would still be the blue-eyed boy? Do tell us what you think. There we are, fantastic. Whoever takes over, we're still doomed. Well, not unless you get a really strong personality who can stand up to the oil and gas companies and say, guys, I know you're big donors, I know blah, 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 but you cannot treat the people like this or we'll be out of office. So get some cuts into your bills there. Now, who have we got here? Have you and George Galloway ever crossed swords? No, we haven't, Jerry. George is a remarkable broadcaster, an outstanding broadcaster, exceptionally talented and clever man. I can tell you that. That's the first thing I would say. But he has banned me from his Twitter because I think it was, he said that his show was the mother of all talk shows. And I said, but Scottie McClue is still the daddy of them all. You see, and I don't think that went down too well. But then it goes. You win some, you lose some, I say to you. And there we are. Whoever takes over still dooms. Awaken questioning. I think that's a bit strong, that one. I have to say, so I won't read that one out. Hello, Scottie, how are you? Kian, how lovely to have you on the old TikTok. Fantastic stuff. I cannot believe the time. We've been up for 51 minutes. It's been outstanding tonight, as always. But I do need you guys to get sharing and sharing and sharing. Telling 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Do you ever phone Scottie McClue for a chit-chat about what's happening? I love you, and I'd love you and Tommy Sheridan to have a debate. So there we are, says Jerry, you take him to school. Well, Tommy I've worked with, and again, another exceptional broadcaster. So Dinky-doo, come and join us as soon as you can. Sorry I'm so late, says Kian. Kian, you mustn't leave. It's so long next time. You miss a moment of McClue, you miss a moment of life. Everybody knows that. The phone's doing, Scottie. No, I don't think so, Numpty. I'll just check for you. There we are. Try it now, Numpty. Give us a wee call and let's hear your chit-chat. Fantastic stuff. When are you back on the wireless? Andrew Downey. What a lovely, lovely thing to say. We are still in negotiation with the companies. Everything's taking a lot longer now because they're very anxious about what their next step should be. And they've no need to be. They should speak to Scottie McClue. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Hello?
Scottie, what we need is a general election.
A general election. But do you not think if he called one now, he would lose?
Who?
Boris.
He's already lost, Scottie. But I think...
But I don't mean Boris. I mean Boris is lost.
In place of Starmer.
Do you not think the reason Boris has actually gone is because they were working it out that they would lose a general election?
No, but I think Labour's going to put a motion in for no confidence during the week. Then it will be a general election.
Very, very interesting times we are living in.
Yeah, but do you know Chris Bryant, the Labour MP?
Yes.
I think he should be the leader of the Labour Party.
How very interesting. Yes, indeed. You're some man. There's an interesting suggestion from a member of the public. Now, who else have we got? What do you think of Keir Starmer? Well, he's an exceptionally clever man. He's a very good politician. He's the leader of the Labour Party. You don't get into these positions without being smart and savvy. But to me, he doesn't have the kind of dynamism. Although I have been enjoying the fact that he gives the Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister, should I say, or is he still the Prime Minister, gives him a run for his money. I think he's still the Prime Minister, although he's resigned. Corbyn was a true Labour leader. Him and you could have had a good chit-chat. Jerry, I can have a good chit-chat with anyone. Somebody said to me once, you'd talk to the devil himself. You're live on Scottie's Phone In. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's Numpty this
Numpty, where have you been? What did you do to my phones?
I couldn't get an answer, so I had to tell you.
You had to tell me. So your equipment wasn't working, so you told me you thought mine wasn't.
No, mine was working fine. I could hear it ringing and ringing and ringing.
Ringing and ringing and ringing it was. Well, anyway, we've got you now.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to have to do with Boris. The only way we're going to get him out is the military, Scottie, a military coup.
Do you think you'd have to Oxter him out?
It's the only way you get rid of these dictators.
So you actually think that Boris was acting like a dictator?
Well, he's changing the rules to suit himself and not the benefit of the country, and the country's suffering through it. So
I think we are needing somebody who can win back an element of trust for the public. Because I don't think Boris was getting the message that the public no longer trusted him.
See, he should have stuck to being a celebrity, Scottie, and writing columns for newspapers.
Well, I think so, yes. Or even, I mean, he had all these jobs, and he didn't have them very long, and they were very senior jobs, because they say he did a good job as the Mayor of London.
Aye, so there you are.
You see?
Anyway.
But that doesn't mean you're going to make a good Prime Minister.
Aye. Now, again, you've not got long to go, but I was going to ask you if you're familiar with the Georgian Guidestones.
Yes. Tell me a little bit more. They've been destroyed, is that right?
Well, funny enough, yes. They've been up for 42 years. They turned up in 1980.
That shocked you that I knew about that, didn't it?
Well, it was on the news.
You thought, I've got them here.
No. But listen, it's been up for 42 years, and it's like a Stonehenge.
Yes.
It's got aligned with the sun. It's got 10 different languages written on it, telling you how to prepare the future, like kill 6.5 billion people, things like that. I wonder it got destroyed. It was giving the wrong message.
So they were the Guidestones were a bad thing, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely, and somebody paid a lot of money for that.
Yes, absolutely, but they were only 42 years old.
Aye, and they were keep getting vandalised, so they put cameras up and actually saw it blown up Thursday.
So they've actually gone, no more Georgian Guidestones.
Well, for safety reasons, they had to demolish the rest of the monolith.
Right, absolutely. Now, do you think there's a big significance in this, or do you think it was just a general act of vandalism?
Well, Scottie, there's more to it, because it's seemingly the person who had them put there had signed their name, and their name was R.C. Christian.
Right. How very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes, very interesting. Aye.
Do you know who this R.C. Christian is? Has he ever phoned your show?
Never. Well, not to my knowledge, but then who am I?
Well, you're Scottie McClue, you know everything.
I do indeed, and I know that we're just about to run out of time, so I'll say dinky do.
And I'll say good night, nation.
Good night, God bless you, numpty heed. There we are, fantastic. The Georgian Guidestones are very, very interesting. There we are. I couldn't stand David Cameron, says Tad, so there you are. Yeah, but he seemed to be a much calmer character than Boris. I liked Harold Wilson, because he was honest, unlike the people we have now. Well, the thing that I'll say about Harold Wilson, I mean, our prime ministers now are still clever coves, they're not daft, but Harold Wilson was a brilliant man as an individual, whether you're a Labour person or not. So there you are. I can tell you that there. Now, who else have we got? Dinky Doo, thank you very much for sharing tonight. It's been an absolute blast. Hello from Derry. You're right about that. We need to remain. Yes, we need to get back into Europe. Thank you for following us, guys. Follow us as soon as you can. Scottie, I bumped my neck. I'll never learn. Jason, we out in the sunshine. Scottie, who should the new James Bond be played by? What about myself? I mean, I need to get a little bit of timber off, but do you think Scottie McClue would make a great James Bond? I might have to do my own stunts. So there we have it. But I agree with you, Mr. Martin. Harold Wilson was quite remarkable. You should tour Scotland and see how you cope with some of the Glaswegians, says Jerry. Jerry, I've been coping with the Glaswegians for the last 60 years. So I don't think I need to tour Scotland to cope with Glaswegians, right? And my huge audience were Glaswegians. 006.5. Guys, we're right out of time. We'll say goodnight to our TikTokers. Dinky do, guys. And we'll say goodnight to our beautiful YouTubers. Thanks for joining us. Fantastic show tonight. Take great care of your dear selves. Scottie McClue saying dinky do to every single one of you. Ta-da, lads.